Der var en video, der ramte mit feed her den dag, der hedder The Death of FiveM, Lawsuits, Lies and Deceptions. Har set den? Jo, du har skrevet det der inden, at de har vist video. Hold nu kæft. Og den tænker jeg lige, at jeg gerne vil se, fordi der kommer jo snart GTA 6 ud. Og hvis I ikke vidste det, så FiveM, det er noget med, at de er blevet opkøbt, eller de er partner med Rockstar fis. Så det kan jo godt være, at det RP, det bliver sådan en integreret del af FiveM. Nej, hold nu kæft, af GTA. Det nye GTA. Så lad os lige prøve at se den her. Jeg håber, at ikke det bliver... Jeg tror det lidt. Der kommer ikke FiveM i GTA 6. Jeg tror, det hedder 6M eller sådan noget. Jeg tror ikke. Det hedder nok ikke det. Lad os lige prøve at høre, hvad de siger. Lad os lige prøve at høre, hvad de siger om det.
Every GTA player knows what FiveM is. The massive roleplay platform that hosts famous servers like NoPixel, SSB, and District 10. Since its rise
og McDonald's RP.
to popularity in 2020, it has since become one of the most streamed games on Twitch and was even bought by Rockstar back in 2023, proving its worth to the franchise. But while on the surface, FiveM has seemed incredibly successful, behind the scenes, it's seen legal battles, shady business deals, rogue employees, leaked files, and ulterior motives from Rockstar that were all exposed in a 100-page document released this week, all of which points to one inevitable fact, that FiveM is bound to collapse very, very soon. This is the unfortunate downfall of FiveM, and why...
Hvorfor skal han gøre det så seriøst, som om det er sådan noget sådan crazy, sådan... Jeg føler, jeg ser sådan en dokumentar om sådan krigsdokumentar eller sådan noget.
Rockstar's hope all along.
Altså Kasper.
It all started back in 2015 with the release of GTA 5 on the PC. FiveM would be created by a developer simply known as NT Authority, or NTA for short. While still primitive by today's standards, these FiveM servers would garner a small dedicated community of players who saw the vision that NTA had for the platform. And due to the extra growth, NTA would hire members who go by disguise, LW...
Okay, jeg ved godt, jeg lige pauser den her, ikke? Vidste I godt, at der var GTA San Andreas roleplay servers og sådan noget? GTA havde været købt uden PT, uden FiveM. Ja, FiveM, GTA er virkelig boostet sådan GTA igen. Det er derfor Rockstar, at de, de købte sig ind i det, eller jeg ved ikke, de har partner med det. 1-0 AGF, kom nu det. Okay, tak for live-opdateringen. Vidste I godt, at... lad mig lige prøve her. San Andreas... RP... Se. Man kunne spille online RP i det. Jeg ved ikke lige, hvor godt det var og sådan noget. Men ja. Det kunne jeg faktisk godt tænke mig at prøve på et tidspunkt. Men fuck det. Lad os se videre.
USS Gaudi, Thorium, and Tabara, all of which will be referred to as the original developers. Unfortunately, however, as these servers grew more and more popular, FiveM would grab the attention of those NTA feared the most, Take-Two Interactive.
Var det grunden til, at alle de rigtige mærker blev fjernet fra FiveM, da Rockstar købte sig ind? Altså tænker du på sådan nogle tøjmærker og sådan noget fis? Altså jeg gætter bare, men det kunne godt have noget med det at gøre. Fordi at... altså de tjener jo penge på det og sådan noget, det er jo copyright. Det kunne godt have noget med det at gøre, men jeg er ikke helt sikker. Det er også i FiveM's egen terms of service, at du må ikke tjene penge på en server. Altså du må ikke sælge et eller andet alt muligt sygt, har jeg hørt. Jeg er ret sikker på. Mærker har aldrig måtte være i FiveM TOS. Har bare ikke gået så meget op i lige præcis det. Jeg tror det bliver mere sådan strict, når Rockstar
Publishers behind Grand Theft Auto quickly took notice of FiveM's success, and in 2017, Take-Two would not only send private investigators to NTA's house, but they also took legal action against NTA and banned them from ever modding on one of Take-Two's IPs ever again. Defeated, NTA had no choice but to abandon the project. But after seeing the FiveM community attempt to revive what was taken away from them, NTA would start working on FiveM once again, instead under a secret alias. This would go on for the next 3 years as NTA worked with a small team of about 20 contractors to improve FiveM and turn it into what we know it as today. Around this same time in 2020, NTA would reluctantly hire 5 developers to help with FiveM, who would eventually...
Hvad fuck er Groot Gang?
NTA would reluctantly hire
Names, roller, affiliation, Groot Gang. Okay, shit. Hvad fuck er det? Lige om lidt så er der en eller anden, der er affiliated med sådan Bloods og Crips eller et eller andet. Fis.
five developers to help with FiveM, who would eventually become the antagonists of this story. A collective of members simply known as Groot Gang. Groot Gang consisted of five different members: Groot, Thurs, Namoa, Zin, and Kane. Although they had been hired to work on the project alongside the existing staff, Groot Gang allegedly did very little to contribute from the start, and management of the group was poor. But overall, work was still being completed by the original core group of developers, and things at this point were starting to look up as FiveM became extremely successful in this year. However, despite Groot Gang not doing much to advance the project, Groot Gang had dangerous plans for FiveM, and one that would ultimately lead it to its downfall today. After stealing internal data from the back end of FiveM, Groot went behind NTA's back and secretly held meetings with Rockstar talking about a possible acquisition. Remember, at this point, NTA is still legally barred from working on any Take-Two IP in any capacity, so Groot getting into talks with Rockstar about acquiring the company puts NTA into a very tricky position. While obviously hesitant about the idea, NTA eventually went along with the plans, and in August of 2023,
så det er derfor, at det er no way, han har fucking, vent, det er blevet solgt, signing and selling, vent, det er blevet solgt til Rockstar, eller hvad? Rockstar har købt FiveM for at finde ud af, hvordan de skal lave det til GTA 6. Det er sygt. Det er sygt. Og gal Groot Gang, din backstabber, mand. Er vi enige? Shit, mand. Ham der NTA, han blev slimed out.
Eventually went along with
Nej, ham der, hvad hedder ham sådan den anden
en? About the idea, NTA eventually went along with the plans, and in August of 2023, Rockstar had officially acquired FiveM for $20 million. Now, you may be asking yourself, why would Rockstar want to buy the company that they spent years trying to take down, and even went as far as to hire private investigators as a scare tactic to have it removed? And you will see exactly why in a little bit. But while on the surface this seemed like a win for the modding community, internally everything went wrong. As it was detailed in the document released internally, everything went wrong. As it was detailed in the document released this week, the first month of the acquisition was a complete disaster. Groot Gang had reported NTA to Rockstar in an attempt to shut them down, management from Rockstar was non-existent, work was barely getting done and was never on time, and this would all cultivate to NTA, the mind behind FiveM, being suspended from the company after just 3 weeks. On top of this, the FiveM team was now under the supervision of a director at Rockstar named Ethan Hirsch, and this director would do very little to solve the internal problems the company was facing.
Er det basically ikke det, der sker, når det er, at man sælger til et stort company? Så har du ikke lige så meget frihed. Så er de ligeglade jo. PTSD er crazy. Jeg så det godt lidt. Men altså, det er jo ikke hans skyld, ham der. Det er ham, der er blevet backstabbet. Men det er basically det er fuck Groot Gang, det mener jeg, mand. Fucking, det er min nye ops, det mener jeg. Vi puller op på dem, gutter. Vi slimer dem out. De har fucking, det er deres skyld, at FiveM er sådan her. De snakede os alle sammen, gutter.
NTA now out of the company and morale.
Så R2 safety
at an all-time low. Groot Gang sees this as an opportunity to cement themselves as the senior management of FiveM, calling themselves the, and I quote, visionaries behind FiveM, and taking credit for the work other developers has done, causing a further rift between Groot Gang and the original developers. And if it can't get any worse, Ethan sides with Groot Gang for all of this. However, NTA couldn't just sit back and watch as Groot Gang tries to take over the project that they have worked on for years. So, as a sign of good faith, NTA proposed to pay 3 of the Groot Gang members a large portion of the money NTA had acquired a part of the acquisition, totaling over 6 million euros. NTA, regretting this decision, would then get sued by Groot in order to keep the funds he didn't deserve. However, However, the lawsuit was dropped after it was in order to keep the funds he didn't deserve.
NTA replied by saying it was sent by an accident. Couldn't follow his lawyer. What? Okay, det fatter jeg ikke helt. Så han sendte de der penge der. Jeg forstår ikke lige helt, hvorfor han sendte de der penge. Men det endte med at få dem tilbage igen også.
After it was alleged that group had been secretly embezzling money from FiveM for some years, and he knew that he would have to show his bank records as part of the legal case. So
så ham der NTA, han er faktisk smart nok. Han fik de der Groot Gang sat i politiets søgelys, eller hvad?
Groot sent back the extra portion of the money that NTA.
Prøv at overveje. Men var det ham, der fik de 20 mil? Ham der NTA? Fordi så han har tjent skejs på FiveM, så...
This situation would get NTA back into the company for a little bit, only for Groot Gang to ignore NTA even more than before. Now down an extra 3 million euros and further away from the team than ever, NTA would once again be suspended after some complaints from Groot Gang members and be officially suspended from the FiveM team permanently. Now, after the doc was posted, it has been alleged that NTA wasn't fired for no reason at all. NTA has apparently done some...
Subscriber.
Tusind tak for de 21 måneder, bro. Shit, snart 2 år. Meget interessant video. Det er rigtig Tuk reagerer, men jeg følte lige, den poppede lige op i min timeline, så tænkte jeg, den bliver lige nødt til at se på streamen.
Unsavory things in the past to warrant this termination. But because no evidence has been shown as of yet, I will simply leave it at that. Now, with work on the project coming to an almost halt at this point, Ethan Hirsch decides to enlist the help of another server-based platform called Alt-V in a last-ditch effort to get things back on track. But it would instead have the complete opposite effect. I'm sure a lot of you by now are aware of the December 2023 leak where the GTA 5 source code was posted online and exposed.
Det er stadig så sygt, det der. Det er stadig så sygt. Den fulde source code for GTA 5 blev leaget. Det er så sygt. Da jeg så det skete, så tænkte jeg sådan, er det galt, der kommer til at blive lavet nogle vilde modmenuer med det, men jeg tror ikke, er der sket noget med, altså er der nogen, der ved det? Er der sket noget med sådan, du ved...
2023 leak where the GTA 5 source code was posted online and exposed a bunch of unreleased content that we never got for GTA 5.
Det har taget en halv time, men den var kun 13 minutter. Det var fordi, jeg pauser for at snakke om videoen. Ellers så sidder jeg bare og ser en anden video på stream jo. Nej, det blev taget ned hurtigt, tror jeg. Altså, når noget af det første er på nettet, så er det på nettet for evigt, vil jeg bare lige sige.
It turns out that the culprit of this leak was a rogue employee, a part of Alt-V. I shit you not. While the Alt-V team was in talks with Rockstar about joining FiveM, they were also in the process of pooling their money together so they could purchase the GTA 5 source code. They would eventually acquire it for $7,000.
Hvad? Okay, for det første, det er ikke dollars. Det er... det er ikke dollars, det der. For det første, det er ikke $7,000, det der. Men 7.000? Det er sgu da mega lidt. What? Jeg troede, du var sådan... Snakkede de ikke lige før om at betale sådan en eller anden... Sådan 2 mil eller 4 mil eller sådan noget for et eller andet random pis?
What? And one of the members would post the leak on Discord to one of his buddies, along with the password the members needed to access it, which is how the world got their hands on it. Unaware to Rockstar at the time of who actually leaked this info, a member of the original developers named Disguise knows exactly who did it, but decides not to say who it was. Because of this, an obvious conflict arises between the original developers and the new Alt-V staff. So, Alt-V decides to team up with Groot Gang against them, and again, Ethan backs Groot Gang in this situation. This causes extreme suspicion with the original developers that Ethan, now a senior director at Rockstar, is secretly trying his best to dismantle FiveM in its entirety. And what the team found out a few months later, it seems they may have been correct. Leaked documents from Rockstar had detailed the beginning of a new project the company had been working on called Project Rome, or otherwise known as Rockstar's online modding engine. The goal is for Rockstar to essentially create their own platform similar to the likes of Fortnite created.
What? Det kunne være sygt. Prøv at forestille jer, ligesom sådan et spil i Fortnite eller Roblox, men i FiveM. Sådan forskellige game modes.
And Roblox with it.
What? Det lyder crazy. Hvad synes I om det? Crank 90 FiveM ville kunne være vildt. Nej, Oscar, stop. Ikke sådan noget. Ikke sådan noget. De mener game modes og sådan noget fis.
Its eventual use most likely to come with the launch of GTA 6 on PC. The original members suspected this to be a complete replacement for FiveM in the future, and this caused even more turmoil between FiveM and Rockstar. Everything the team had seen now points to the fact that FiveM will no longer be available within the coming years with the introduction of Project Rome, and it seems most likely that even the big servers have begun to abandon ship.
What? NoPixel has been getting access to Rome?
After the acquisition in 2024, Rockstar had announced new terms of service requirements for all servers, banning them from using real-world cars and assets in their server. Next, an owner of a successful server called RSM Project claimed that some servers were being targeted more than others and accused Rockstar of special treatment when it comes to these changes, and he may know exactly why that is. It has been alleged already that some of the biggest servers on FiveM, like NoPixel and Complexo, have been in talks with Rockstar to help them with Project Rome in exchange for allowing them to keep their server the way it is. Rockstar has been...
Altså hvordan, altså med har de sådan rigtig, hvad hedder sådan noget, logo og sådan noget på NoPixel for eksempel? Hvilken server spiller på lige nu Resident? Bliver der så prop hunt digital? Det kom her. Altså jeg ved det ikke. Jeg tror også det lyder sådan. Det lyder altid fucking crazy.
Seen doing live stream events with the Complexo server, where the stream openly shows the server violating Rockstar's new TOS by having real cars and assets.
Lol. Okay, det er svagt. I det mindste hold jeres principper. Hvornår skete det her? Jamen det siger han i videoen. Det skete for... Du skulle have fulgt med i videoen, Oscar, for helvede. Du kan se her. 2023.
Terms of service requirement Project Rome in exchange for allowing them to keep their server the way it is. Rockstar has been seen doing live stream events with the Complexo server, where the stream openly shows the server violating Rockstar's new TOS by having real cars and assets. With the favoritism being shown and the discovery of Project Rome itself, arguments broke out between Ethan and the team, ultimately leading to one of the longest-lasting developers, Disguised, to be fired. Because of Disguised's termination, every last original developer of the FiveM team since before 2020 would immediately abandon the project as well, ending an era. By this point, FiveM is in complete shambles. The community and servers are constantly looking for new updates, no actual work is being done to advance the project, and Rockstar couldn't care less as they focus on Project Rome. And that all brings us to where we are today.
Damn.
A company with no direction, no real team, no plan to get back on track, and ultimately doomed to be replaced by Project Rome. And all of this cultivates to this week when a coalition of members who felt they were betrayed would get together to write this 100-page expose about FiveM. Now, before we end, there's a few takeaways you need to remember from this situation. One is that it's not Rockstar's fault. In the document, the coalition says, everyone...
Det er det vel. De har jo købt det, og så har de ikke gjort en skid med FiveM. Den der Complexo, han nævnte, at hvis brasiliansk, de havde et collab med Logitech, hvor man kunne købe Logitech in-game. Vild markedsføring. Var det derfor i et af klipsene, der var sådan en Logitech nede i sådan en ad placement? What? Det er sygt. Det er crazy. Det minder mig om den der server. Var det ikke Danish RP, der var sponsoreret af Hungry eller sådan noget? Også. det er crazy sådan noget.
Would like to explicitly say that they have no hard feelings against Rockstar and still consider themselves fans. They speak positively about Rockstar and don't consider FiveM or the creator platform to be anything at all like them. Rockstar has thousands of employees. Don't extrapolate the actions of FiveM to Rockstar or Take-Two.
Damn.
Rockstar employees don't get away with embezzling money, bullying their boss, or doing nothing for years. So while Rockstar may have been hatching an entire plan to replace FiveM in the future anyway with Project Rome, it was mainly the actions of a few bad actors in the FiveM team that drove the company to the position they're in today. Second takeaway is that we don't know exactly who wrote this document. Obviously, this document is extremely extensive, and it definitely shares favoritism towards NTA and the original developers. But the author of this doc is simply known as the Coalition, with no members mentioned of who exactly that was. New information may...
Odessa er sponsoreret af Normal. Stadig. Jeg hørte det på et tidspunkt for lang tid siden. Jeg ved... What? Det er altså et sygt... Det er ikke lige nogen... Det er ikke normalt sponsoreret lige en FiveM-server. Det er altså ikke lige noget, jeg lige havde forventet. Det lyder ikke helt normalt. Det er nok meget godt. Det var meget gennemført. Altså med Logitech Custom MLO in-game. Det de også har haft med supermarkeder og alt muligt underligt. Fuck, hvor sygt. Okay. Brasiliansk RP, det er next level. Det kan være, at jeg skal prøve at lave en video, hvor jeg prøver en brasiliansk server. Shit, mand. Køber Logitech in-game og går i... Ja, nu kender jeg ikke lige nogen brasilianske supermarkeder, men...
come to light, but judging from the fact that a lot of info in this doc is verifiable through screenshots and articles, it seems most likely that this is the most accurate account of what happened to FiveM.
Damn.
And the last takeaway is that as of right now, FiveM is still playable.
What? Den der grafikmod, den skal jeg lige have. Nogen har et link. Den ser crazy ud.
GTA RP is still one of the biggest games on Twitch, and it seems that it will stay like that at least until GTA 6's release. But there is no denying that as soon as the PC version is released, Rockstar will have much bigger plans with Project Rome, and it's inevitable that FiveM will not be a part of these plans.
Damn. Gutter, vi skal fucking... Altså, ja, personligt, så synes jeg FiveM allerede har ramt dens peak. Jeg føler allerede FiveM, der har ramt dens peak. Men det her, det er sygt. Hvad tænker vi, gutter? Altså, ja, på den ene side, det bliver rip, at der ikke... Altså, nu ved vi ikke, om der er nogen, der kommer til at lave sådan noget FiveM-agtigt projekt. Noget a FiveM med GTA 6, vel? Men det der GTA Rome, eller hvad fuck det hedder, det lyder sygt. Det lyder altså virkelig sygt. Hvad tænker vi om det? Fordi det er jo basically sådan, så er det jo bare realistisk Roblox, eller sådan Fortnite ting, eller sådan noget. FiveM peakede ved min admin-abuse på Savanne her, efter det er det gået ned ad bakke. Når det sker. Hvad fik Good Gang overhovedet ud af det? Jeg må være ærlig at sige, der var så mange forskellige navne, jeg kunne ikke helt finde rundt i, hvem der var hvem. Men ja, true. Nej, det er rigtig nok bare, man skriver, it's a shame. I really want GTA RP, not Fortnite creative. Jeg håber virkelig, at der er en måde... Altså, jeg håber virkelig ikke, at det bliver sådan en Rockstar implementeret version at spille RP. At det bliver sådan en officiel del af GTA 6 RP. Fordi det ved jeg bare, det bliver sådan noget mærkeligt noget, tror jeg.